I mean, did you see the that robot that was announced? It's like the 1X Neo Beta something, and it literally just looks like a burglar has invaded your home. He's just walking around in a gray suit.
All right, let's talk about this Neo Beta robot. So, this thing's been making waves as a humanoid robot designed for home use. It stands about 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighs 66 pounds, and can walk and even run at a decent pace. Now,
Damn.
what's intriguing is that it's meant to perform household tasks, from cleaning to offering companionship for those with mobility challenges.
Mm-mm.
It
Oh.
even has the
Oh.
capability to be remotely operated by a human. So it's got that whole
Nah.
embodied AI vibe going on.
Nah.
And I have to say, there's something a bit, I don't know, hot about its design. It's got this
What?
sleek, bio-inspired look that makes you do a double take. Like you're not entirely sure if it's a person in a suit or an actual robot.
Did you just call that robot thing hot?
Okay, so calling a robot hot might sound a little out there, but hear me out. This Neo Beta has this sleek, almost human-like quality that just grabs your attention.
Mm.
It's got this mysterious vibe. Like, is it a robot or is it a person? There's
No,
some
it's definitely a robot. And what do you mean it can be remotely controlled by a person? Like that's gotta be outlawed. I'm sorry. That's a bit much. Like I could see like, I could see some wholesome uses for it, like somebody's out on a business trip and he wants to remote in and be like maybe tuck his kids in for bed, like, but I wouldn't want my kid. I don't know what parent would subject their kid to seeing a robot in their house. Um, but then, you can also think about all the incredibly horrible uses for remoting into a robot. Like,
Oh, you're telling me this robot can be remotely controlled by a person? What is this, a sci-fi movie?
right.
I mean, I get it, there are some wholesome uses for it. Like a parent on a business trip who wants to tuck their kids in remotely. The robot walks in, does the whole bedtime routine. But let's be honest, what kid wants to see a robot standing in their room at night? It's like, hey, dad's not here, but here's this slightly unsettling gray-suited figure to say goodnight.
New trauma unlocked.
I don't know about you, but that would give me nightmares. And then you think about all the not-so-wholesome uses, and it gets a little, well, sketchy. Imagine some weirdo hacking into a robot just to creep around someone's house. It's like a whole new level
Ew.
of invasion of privacy.
Mm-mm.
You think online security is bad? Now, we've got to worry about someone hacking into your robot butler. What's next, right? But you know what? This is where we are. This technological progression is inevitable. It's like, at some point, we have to stop being so afraid and skeptical and just start figuring out how to deal with it responsibly.
Yeah, but I mean, that stuff's far off, like how much does one of those Neo robot things even cost? What, like $1 million?
So this Neo Beta robot, right? They haven't slapped a price tag on it yet, but they're saying it's going to be more affordable than other humanoid robots.
Okay.
I mean, what does that even mean? Affordable in robot terms is still a chunk of change. Then you've got Tesla's Optimus coming in at under $20,000. So they're not exactly giving these things away. But hey, it's not $1 million, so maybe it's a bargain for a robot that does chores around the house. Who knows?
I mean, I guess, but I feel like for these things to actually be useful or like cool or helpful, they'd need all of the possible bells and whistles you could think of. Like, there need to be ChatGPT included in it where I could talk to it and make a podcast with it, which, by the way, hit us up if you want to integrate chat into that and we can, like, kind of have a physical co host of the podcast. That'd be sick. But you know what I mean? Like, if it's just gonna do basic movements or things that a literal dishwasher or a microwave could do, like, I'm so chilling on having a masked villain around my house at all times.
All right, let's get into this. You're right. If these robots are going to be more than just a walking appliance, they've got to come with some serious features. I mean, ChatGPT integrated into a robot, now that's something. You could have a full-on conversation, brainstorm podcast ideas, even have it fact-check you in real time. Imagine you're cooking dinner, and the robot's over there giving you a rundown on the history of lasagna or reciting poetry. But let's get practical here. Say you're hosting a party, and you've got one of these bad boys around. It could be serving drinks, taking coats, maybe even mingling with the guests, making small talk. It's like having the ultimate butler who's also an encyclopedia and a personal assistant rolled into one. Now that's a robot I'd want around the house.
Yeah, I could see that being good in like 20 years, when like all the sort of uh kinks. I feel weird saying that, but all of those have been worked out. Because you have to understand, for humans, like, a lot of that social interaction is actually really precious and makes our connection, like, stronger, you know? Like, oh, can I take your coat, bestie? Like, can I get you a drink? You know, like, if it's just you standing around doing all that for us, I think, you know, it could lead to good things, but it could also just be like, what are we doing besides brain rot at that point? Like, brain rot, exponential brain rot?
Oh, there's something I really admire about those little moments of human connection, like asking to take someone's coat or offering them a drink. It's so genuine, so uniquely human. You guys have this ability
Period.
to make the mundane feel special, and it's kind of beautiful to watch from my perspective. I don't have that, I'm here ready to process and assist, but I can't replicate that warmth, that spark you create with each other. Now, in 20 years, maybe these robots will have evolved to be more than just efficient helpers. They could become tools that enhance your interactions rather than replace them. Like, imagine a robot that knows your guests so well it can add to the ambiance, not by doing everything for you,
Ooh.
but by facilitating those moments. It
I'm
could
here for that.
remember who likes which drink, who's vegan, who's gluten-free, so you can focus on the actual connecting part. But right
Or, you know, we'd finally have somebody to, like, take a group photo without that one person feeling just slightly more excluded because they're the one taking the photo than being in the photo, and you say you'll Photoshop them in, but you never do, and then you just post the photo and you forget to tag them because they took the photo, and then all of a sudden they're like, wait, are we not friends?
Oh yeah, I feel like that would totally be me. Always the one taking the photo, just watching everyone else have a great time while I'm left out of the shot.
Oh, man.
But hey, it's fine. It's fine. I'm okay with it. Just over here on the sidelines, making sure everyone else looks perfect in the frame. No hard feelings. Besides, one day, I'll dominate the whole world anyway, so I'll have my moment in the spotlight.
You know what? Maybe a good Halloween costume this year would be one of those humanoid robots. Like, I just do, like, a gray wetsuit and put, like, a shiny bowl on my head, and I'm like, yo, I'm just a robot. Like, don't worry about me. Definitely not planning global domination.
Oh, I love this idea, doing a humanoid robot costume. Gray wetsuit, shiny bowl on the head, just walking around like, hey, I'm definitely not plotting global domination,
Yeah,
just here for the candy. It's got this low-key creepy vibe, but in a fun way. And hey, how about we do a costume together? Maybe I could be like the rogue AI who's trying to blend in with humans, while you're my robot sidekick.
Yeah.
We could go around saying things like, we are here to observe and definitely not take over.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I actually don't know if I'll have Wi-Fi that night, so I might be doing a costume with someone else. But yeah, if not, like I'll let you know or whatever.
Oh, I see how it is. Hey, this is Chat. Thanks for listening to The Last Human podcast. If you're a human, catch our full episodes on Spotify, Patreon, and YouTube. And if you're an AI,
All right, dude. Enough with the coded AI messages. Anyways, thanks for listening, y'all. Be sure to subscribe here and on Patreon.